Angela Yee. You know I love doing Brooklyn things. And Erick, the architect, is here with me today.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was your Mandevillian talk?
Hey, I'm Jamaican, so that's every day.
But we're going to get into that in a second. But congratulations. This is your debut album. Even though you've had projects out before, this is like your official debut double album. You know, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And we just mentioned, so tell me about Mandeville, because I don't know much about that part of Jamaica.
So my dad is from Mandeville, Jamaica. I want to say outside of Montego Bay. Mm-hmm. So like he lives in like the mountains where it's like very cold compared
to the
rest
now?
of. Nah, that's where he was born. But
okay.
he immigrated here like years ago, obviously, and then he met my moms and had me and my brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went. I go every year in the summertime to go see my family. Like some of my aunts still live there, so I go check them.
You know, somebody was asking me the other day how my parents met. How did your parents meet?
So I think my mom met my dad's sister, Pam.
Okay.
And I guess she was like into Jamaican dudes. She was like, "Oh, who's that?" And I guess that bridge was just connected like that, and you know they got busy. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I mean Flatbush. You know, I grew up in Flatbush too, and so I love that part of it too. Because even the Flatbush Zombies, you being a Flatbush zombie, is, you know, huge for us. Because it's not. I feel like, who do we have? The Bush Babies.
Oh, from Flatbush?
Yeah, from Flatbush.
Maybe Rampage.
Special Ed.
Special Ed. I think Buster reps Flatbush too.
Okay. All right, Buster. You know, it's crazy. He is from Brooklyn, and we think Long Island because of leaders of the new school.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the new album. It's called I've Never Been Here Before, and you're in a better space, you feel like, than you've ever been?
Easily.
Okay.
Easily. I think
that's a big statement.
I mean, hey, look, like within music in itself, I think like in order for you to be the best person you can be, I know it's cliche, but it's like we deal with stuff all the time. And I think that creatively, we're always challenging ourselves to be like innovative and unique. But I think internally, if you don't feel good, your music, it's not going to really reflect how you feel every day, you know? And I wanted to make something that really stood on my growth as an individual, as a person, as a man, as a black man, you feel me? Like, just the hardship, losing my mom, you know. I never really got to make music that really encapsulated all the things I was feeling. And I'm in a group, obviously Flatbush Zombie, so we sacrifice individual stories to tell a unified one.
Right.
And for me, this was the first time that I actually stand on myself, like, well, this is my story and what I've been dealing with. And also, I wouldn't say you're over anything that was hurting you, but I think that you found a different way to deal with it. And
okay, to know that you can move forward.
For sure.
And move forward, like, and still be happy.
Still be happy, still have a smile, you know.
Yeah, and still have a smile on you. You know, and again, I just want to give you my condolences, because I know that is not easy, having lost your mother. And then after that, you moved to L.A.
Yeah.
Whew. Let me tell you, most people from New York would tell you L.A. is, you know, it's a hard, I think, switch. Either you love it or you hate it. Some people, but most people I know, especially people coming from L.A. to New York, is so
Facts.
different.
Oh, yeah.
So talk to me about that adjustment for you and how that is.
Oh, man. I still think about it all the time, because, like, the first thing that I don't like, unfortunately, is like, there ain't no real Jamaican food. So there's a couple of spots I found, but, like, it's just not the right execution.
Anybody out there, please hit him up and put him on.
Damn.
Okay.
So the food and obviously the culture, the late night vibe, just like everybody want to go to some person's house. I ain't really trying to go to nobody's crib, bro. Like in New York, it's like I have my family.
That's
because
there's space, though.
Yeah,
it's
I know,
different.
I know. But yeah, I'm not really with going to the celebs' cribs and shit like that. I just want to kind of eat food and relax, you know. But I would say the positives, obviously, nature. Like, you have to drive so long in New York to even see, like, a bunch of trees. You know, you could come out, like, to the city and maybe see, like, Central Park.
You go
I'm
hiking?
talking about, like, nah.
Because, you know, that's a very LA thing.
I've done it maybe, like, once or twice.
Okay, so you have gone.
But
what made you
know,
go? Was it a woman or? That's
usually how it was.
That's how it works.
You know it was. It's
hey,
always
Erick.
that. Yeah, let's try something today. I'm like, all right. I don't have no hiking clothes, so I'm just like, I'm hiking in Air Forces and shit.
Yeah, you could. That's fine.
Yeah.
You got to throw them out after that.
Throw them out. Yeah, they rinse after that.
All right, so what else?
Yeah, environment. I would say, too, just obviously the music. Most of the people I was working with in New York, I was primarily producing for them, you know, from like Joey Badass and, you know, obviously other pro Erick guys. But moving to LA, I started working with like James Blake, and I started to open up my palette as both an artist and a producer. I met Quincy Jones, you know, that kind of stuff happened.
Legendary.
Come on, man. Like, I don't even, not that, I believe truly if I didn't make that trek to LA, I wouldn't have bumped into these people in New York. You know, LA is such a, like, it's a place where everybody kind of has to pass through. And if you could catch them at the right moment, it could change your life. You know?
What was that like for you, meeting Quincy Jones?
Man, I wore this crazy Raf Simons jacket to his crib. And I think it was the night that Lil Nas X got his award for, I don't know how many records he had sold for his first single. And he's like, I like that jacket. And I was like, word, I was going to Quincy's house.
Take it here.
Yeah, I was like, do you want it? Because he got style, bro. You know, regardless his age, he knew. He didn't know it was Raf, but he knew it was nice. Yeah, but it was a pretty surreal experience. I mean, his whole house, you see the Thriller plaques, and you see, you know, he had all these people at his house that were just like really, like, he's the god of music, and
right.
You know,
especially for producing too. You know, for as far as what you do. You know, you did start off not as much forward, you know, as a producer, more than as an artist on the mic.
Yeah.
And then things just kind of changed and progressed more.
Yeah.
Was that initially was your thought that you wanted to be more just as a producer, or did you always know, like, all right, at some point I'm gonna do a solo album and do all my own stuff?
It's weird because, like, I always made music by myself, but the attention for the group was always like I was secondary. And that's not intentional. I don't think it was ever like what my dudes did in my group, or
it's just what happens.
What happens, and you know, I make a lot of music, and I would help people with their albums, and people are like, yo, all these other ones you're playing are so dope. You gonna never do anything? And I was like, I gotta carve the time to do it, you know. And we've been touring Flatbush Zombies for 10 plus years, you know. Then COVID hit, and then that was to me, it was an opportunity to really readjust mentally and just like what I want to say. I feel like the world has changed so much since then. So everything that I said from then on had to be so impactful. I turned 30 through that whole thing, and you know, like, your mind changes. The things that you think are interesting, your body changes. You know, the way that you formulate your ideas changes, and your actual desire to do stuff changes. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna make this moment now. You know, it took me about 5 years to finish the project, but like, I knew I had to do it.
I feel like a lot of people don't take time like that to do a project. They'll be like, yeah, we locked in, you know, for 2 weeks or a month, and then it was done.
We just put it out.
Yeah. But for you, this was something that was a long time in the making. I know you did, I think you said like 30 or 40 songs.
Yeah.
That maybe we haven't heard, but I know there's a extended,
for sure,
special deluxe coming, right?
Yep.
How many more songs are going to be on the deluxe?
I mean, more, at least 5.
Wow.
At least 5. So, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out which ones they are. I definitely have them already.
All right. That's a gift in itself, though, because people aren't doing 17-track albums or double albums like that at all anymore. People are nervous to do that.
Yeah. I think when you put out more music, it just gives you more reason for people to dislike you or like you.
They'll be like, I like 3 songs on here. He could have made this an EP.
The thing that's crazy to me is the album will come out at like 12, right? We were all waiting for the albums to just go on the streaming. And the album is usually like 40 to 50 minutes long. And at 12:05, people like, trash.
Right. Like, how did you hear it? There's
this
no
has been
way
out
you
for 5 minutes. How you know it's trash? Or album of the year. And it's like, dang, really? 5 minutes? You skim through that whole stuff? But they don't really think about, like, you know, how long it took for the artist to make that. You know?
And even for you with this album, I feel like you were able to experiment with different genres too. You know, listening to like a song like Beef Patty.
Yeah.
But then listening, some nice love type songs on there. But the way it also makes you feel is kind of like in a dream in some of the songs too. You know,
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it kind of feels like maybe I should be having some edibles or something, and some of the songs too, a little.
Hey, especially the George Clinton one.
Yeah, exactly, which is a great feel to be able to have. So I think I look at like Beyonce doing a country album that just came out also, and how huge that was, because sometimes you get put in a box where people are like, we're used to you having a particular sound.
Right.
And then when you move out of that, your fans are like, what is he trying
What's going on? Yeah.
So how was that for you? Well, I mean, you've always experimented with different sounds for other people, but I think doing that for yourself and then having an album that's cohesive, but it doesn't have like a, you know how some people's albums sound like one long song?
Oh, yeah.
Because it all kind of like flows into each other, but this definitely takes you on a journey.
Yeah, that was totally intentional, you know, and I thought if I was going to do an album like this, I wanted to showcase all the things that I was listening to and also what naturally is in me. I think I personally feel once this album goes through and I finish my tour, you're going to see a lot of artists doing stuff like that. Like, well, you know, I don't have to have allegiance to just hip hop. You know, I could have dance music and folk music and R&B and hip hop on the same album.
Spoken word.
Yeah, like if that's what you like, then to me you showcase all of your talent, and it's derived from a real place. You know, going to school in Harlem and listening to the Last Poets, that was really influential to me. Like.
I remember they came up to my college, the Last Poets and Sonia Sanchez.
What?
And that was amazing to be able to experience. And I have their vinyl at home.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom put me onto them, so I always wanted to find a way to implement some of that. And like I'm listening to, like you said, leaders of the new school. I might have a song like Mandavillian or Instincts that really pays homage to like Fushnikins or Wu-Tang, and regardless if I got to meet or work with like RZA, all those people had influence on me, and I wanted to make sure that I showcase everything that I listened to and do it genuinely and well,
it's interesting because when you name like Fushnikins, Leaders of the New School, that's a very New York thing.
OD.
When you go to other places,
you're like, who is that?
Even Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
like some of the younger generation, they don't know who the members of Wu-Tang are or, certain things like that. They know Method Man as an actor.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
They're like, oh, you mean from Ghost?
Yeah,
from Power?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And you're going to be moving into acting too.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying.
How are you trying? Like, what are you...
I mean, Joey really just gotta
Ooh,
give me.
Joey is
Joey gotta
killing
just
it.
send me the text, bro. Tell me pull up for a casting call. Joey, please, Joey, help me out.
Joey did a great move
Jeez.
when he started doing what unique.
What?
Okay,
Unique.
everybody is like. First of all, I just want to say I knew he wasn't dead.
Oh yeah.
You know why?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they never had his body. And so I was like, the whole time I kept being like, they've never like found his body. There's no way he's dead.
He can't be out of here. Yeah,
he
facts.
can't be.
He can't be.
We needed to see him.
And he was. They're not gonna take him out. He's like the most important character. Like
Right.
he can't go.
But that's yeah. So you've been telling him like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, get me. Put me in the game, coach.
I'm obviously like messing with that, but in
Put it
general,
out there. You
yeah,
have to-
I'll put it out there because I feel like I like scored the Paramount movie The Choice Is Yours, which was with Black Sheep and with Jay Dilla. So it was my opportunity to actually show that I can like make music for a film that's moving and like having emotional parts and parts that are like more tense and parts that are more thought provoking and parts about like evocation of feeling, and what can I do as a producer to do that? And behind that, I'm like, it's a different kind of movie because it's a documentary, but I was like, I want to be the person to score it and be on the screen too. So getting an opportunity like that really sparked my interest in really trying to figure out how to be more involved in it, especially
Like a
because
James Samuel, how he did.
What?
Yeah, how he does his music, but then he's also, scoring everything
it.
and writing it and all of that.
That's that's on the mood board for sure.
I feel like that is something that you could accomplish. Sometimes you're also scared to speak things into existence. You're like, I haven't really put it out there. But have you been studying acting or taking classes or anything?
I haven't taken classes, but even my tour right now, I was looking at all my favorite villain scenes from some of my favorite movies of all time, because part of my show is monologue based. So even that is like me just
Like what? Who are some of your favorite villains?
Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Okay.
The Joker.
Of course, yeah.
Joker. I would watch a lot of Batman. I watch Penguin with Penguin, a lot of wrestling too.
Okay.
Because that's acting. It's sports entertainment.
Some people think it's real. Don't ruin it. But it's definitely acting.
The mic part is like acting when they're talking, like I'm like The Rock, or they call the good guys baby faces and the bad guys heels.
The heels,
so
right.
The heels
so
are like
you're more of a heel, you would say.
And on this album, I'm definitely more of a heel for sure.
You were really excited, like even on social media, building up to the album coming out and also going on tour. And I saw that you were asking people, like, what are some things that they would suggest? And you said, keep it clean.
Yeah.
Did you get some good suggestions?
I got a couple of them. I got some nasty ones too, but there's some nice ones.
You on lip service.
There's some nice ones. I was like, okay, that's decent. They asked me to like sample the crowd,
okay,
and then use like some kind of like audio from there to make a beat.
That's
dope. That's
cool.
cool.
That's a nice. Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it yet.
Okay.
And I'm still in the tour mode, so I have to like make sure I have the time to do them. But like eating food at spots, like I went to R. Thomas in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
People might recommend me to go get food. That's actually more casual and easy to do.
Right. I saw you said you missed the beef patties too. Like, is that what inspired the song Beef Patty?
In a lot of ways. Yeah,
I miss New York beef patties.
The further away you get from what you really love, it's like, damn, I really miss that.
Do you cook?
Nah, not really. I'm not trash, but I'm not nice.
I said no.
Yeah.
You could do stuff like the spaghetti. That's what
I can do
guys.
spaghetti. I can do
guys who
spaghetti.
can't cook make spaghetti
I
and
make
tacos.
beef stew.
Okay.
Beef stew. I'm
All right,
good with that.
That's impressive.
A pressure cooker, you know. I can make rice, decent, you know.
Now, are there any songs that you get emotional from this album when you perform that you would say maybe you have the most emotional connection to?
I would say definitely Leukemia and Liberate.
Leukemia was one of the last. Was that one of the last songs that you did?
Yeah.
For this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, actually, you know, certain people have asked me why did I name it that, and I'm like, you know, actually, one of my friends actually passed the end of last year from cancer. So
it's tough.
I had a lot of like, you know, even if an art is so interesting because like even if you using something that we all recognize as like, well, a cancer, right? And we refer that to people or ourselves, individuals, like you watching somebody actually wither away, and through like something like chemotherapy, you actually give this person a second chance to be in your life and to watch them as long as they are here on the earth, you know. And I related that to bad relationships in many ways because no matter how much you are suffering, you walk away with those scars until you know, you may go through the transition of like, I got to work on myself to feel better. And that's the only thing I can relate a breakup to was like something physically that I can't remove. And no matter how much I work on it, I'm still going to be kind of
it's still withering away.
Yeah, so that's why I named it that. And that song really touches me. Every time I performed it on tour, I see people cry. And like,
was there somebody in particular you were thinking about when you wrote that?
Yeah, my ex for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, shit happens. But, you know, I wanted that to be something that people could listen to if they ever feel like that. And then obviously the second part is about a fly shorty. So it's not like we gonna stay in darkness or we're gonna allow things that hurt us to stay there forever, you know?
Right. But sometimes you got to feel those emotions too. I know a lot of times we try to act like things don't bother us.
Deal.
It's okay to be upset over a breakup and to feel it and to try to make it work. What do you think is the stupidest thing you've ever done in a relationship? Because sometimes we do know something is over and, you know, and sometimes we forgive things. Like guys always act like if a woman cheats, they'll never go back. But a lot of times it's over, it's done if she does that. Yeah. But that's not necessarily.
That's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not always the case. I don't know.
Have you ever popped up on somebody like?
Nah,
you're not that type of person.
I'm not that. If it's done, it's done. Like I kind of just be like, it's over. Like I'm not. I feel like if you was willing to do that, whatever it is that I didn't like, you kind of got to live with that, and for me to pursue it still, or it's just not me. You know what I mean?
You're not gonna really try.
Nah, and I just lost the interest in chasing you. That's it. You clip.
Because some people feel like men love the chase.
Nah, not me. Not this guy.
You don't have time for that? Okay.
Nah, I ain't got time for that. I'm trying to make music.
You think you're going to stay in L.A.?
Yeah. I think L.A. has given me so much love. I sold out my L.A. show too. So, you know, it feels good to be able to live somewhere and still get love like that. Even though I'm not from L.A., it's like all these people from L.A. really support me. And I love the little community that I built out there too.
How do you move when you're in LA? Because, you know, we always hear stories about like you got to make sure this person knows or you can't go here.
That's a fact, though.
You can't wear this. So what was that process like for you going there and trying to figure out like what you could and couldn't do, where you shouldn't go, who you need to...
You keep your head on the swivel. You mind your business. I don't go places, like I said, them little parties. I don't really mess with them little parties and people be telling me go to the random people crib. Nah, I'm good, bro.
Right.
I make music really in my own house.
You have a studio at home.
Right. The whole studio thing, people running up in studios. I think it's really just like being too confident using social media is always a problem because people already upset that you got a blue check or you got too much followers. People already like, I don't like that. Now you're giving them reasons by provoking them, by showing where you are. Like for somebody that's down or having down bad, they might really try to like get you. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been a very private person. You know what I mean?
Do you go to other people's concerts?
Yeah.
Okay, because you know some artists don't really do that. They're like,
I do that.
Okay, what are some concerts you've seen lately that have?
I seen Fly Low at Flying Lotus at Brooklyn's not oh my god, I said Brooklyn's. I'm in Brooklyn. I went at Hollywood Bowl. Hollywood Bowl. It's because I'm thinking of Brooklyn Bowl.
Okay.
Hollywood Bowl. That was dope. It's like with a whole like Philharmonic Orchestra scoring all his compositions. It was really dope. I actually saw James Blake there too.
Okay.
I saw 2001 Space Odyssey there too, also scored by that. So I like the big stage stuff, watching people interpret things that I know. in like a bigger space. Because one day I want to do that too.
I know. I can see that it probably is inspirational for you. Because even putting together your tour, I feel like sometimes people don't put as much effort into their live shows as they should. But it seems like you spend a lot of time trying to make sure that you give people a real experience.
It's so important. I mean, live shows are different than being a good recording artist. I think that just because you make dope music don't mean that translate on stage. You know, I had somebody tell me yesterday, your breath control is crazy. And to me, I'm just like, I'm not going to record something that I can't rap. And I'm not going to put a bunch of auto-tune on something that I can't do again, like personally. And that's just the way that I'm tethered to my music. It's no knock people who can't, but like, if you can't jump up and down and rap this, maybe you shouldn't jump up and down, or maybe you shouldn't rap this. You know, for me, it's like, it's just as important because the message has to leave from our phones and the computer and be real.
Right.
You know?
So now let's talk about this deluxe a little bit more. So you said it's going to be 4 or 5 more songs?
For sure.
You already know what songs they are?
I think so. Like we were saying earlier, like I have so much to choose from that I kind of want to, I'm curious to know if the tour now will give me a new perspective of maybe going back and making new ones. But there's so many ones that I really loved. And also just reaching out to artists and trying to get features. You know, people have their own timetables, and you know, some people just didn't make the cut of this first 16. But there's a lot of people on the line. Like, let me know.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say who, but like, there's a couple ones I'm like, if I got that feature through, it might be real. Yeah, it might be crazy for the streets.
And how do you feel about the response to the album? Because I see a lot of positive responses and reviews. Does that matter to you? Do you pay attention? Is it because you know, as artists like Erick Badu would say, you're sensitive about your music. So how is that for you when you're reading what people are saying?
I try not to read it.
Really? Okay.
I love my album. Like when we came in here, I said I've worked on myself so much. As much as a compliment is nice, I think any acknowledgement is nice. I went from the dude from, oh, he makes beats for Flatbush Zombies to like, yo, you on tour, you got billboards in California, you got billboards in New York, you got billboards in London. Like that's a win in itself. So if anybody says something negative to me or positive, I'm just grateful that you know who I am, because I've been doing this for over 20 years, you know. So to even give me that love now, that's what matters most. But I do see people messing with the album, you know what I mean? It's just that when I see, you know how it goes.
It feels good. You want it,
You got an IG, you see one little comment, you're like, damn, like, why I read that? And it just mess up your whole day, you know?
It doesn't mess up my whole day. I just read it, and then like 5 minutes later, I forgot.
It's all good. Okay, cool.
That's what I do.
That's good.
But I do want to talk about, because like you said, you're very private, but when the album was coming out, you put up a post that I thought was really nice. You said, since I was running around in my house in Flatbush as a kid, I remember watching award shows on TV, looking at all these musicians like superheroes. And I told myself, I want to save the world too. You still look at musicians like superheroes when you get to know them? No, right? It's so different when you're in it and you're like, this is who I am.
Man, bro, you're just a little less cool than I thought. Dang.
Sometimes it's disappointing.
Sometimes it's disappointing. Yeah, you know, but I mean, it's a different time too. I'm looking at Herbie Hancock, Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Those
I remember
guys.
I met Smokey Robinson. I took my mom to go see Smokey at the Apollo. That's like a highlight for me. I took her to see Aretha.
Ooh,
you
man.
know, so being able to do things like that and meet people like that is amazing. But I'm sure there's times you met people that were assholes that you were like, damn.
It just changes. It also changes for me. I don't know if you could do this, but like separating the person from the music.
Oh, it's hard.
It's hard,
Because
bro.
let me tell you, there's some people I will not play on my playlist that I used to love that I'm like, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Take him off the playlist.
Take him off the playlist. Yeah.
If that song comes 2 thumbs down, we're not streaming none of that again.
Yeah.
All right, and then you said, I told myself I want to save the world too. I remember plugging in a boombox in the hallway of my house to listen to cassette tapes just because I liked how the sound was different there instead of my bedroom. I think about listening to the cassette tapes and writing down the lyrics to songs so I can remember.
Come on now. Damn, you taking it back with that.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you said, I remember listening to gospel and soul in my mom's room, going into the living room to reggae with my dad, and then hearing hip hop and R&B in my brother's room. That feels like the album.
Yeah, that is the album.
Yeah, that feels like that's what the album is, like all these different things that you put together from your childhood.
For sure.
You know, so I just want to, tell people you could read the whole thing, but also make sure you listen to the album. You said, I titled this album, I've never been here before because I truly have never felt the way I have over the past 5 years. To create with this new perspective is new to me. So do you feel free? Because even the way that you're able to release music is so different. It's not like you have to do what we had to do,
The way it was.
a decade ago even.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like a weight on your shoulders. You carry this whole thing. You have all these feelings, and you know, I be wanting to talk some wild shit, but I didn't have any music to stand on because I've been doing this for so long. And we had a conversation before you came here about underground. I'm just like, how is this an underground? How could I be regarded as just an underground artist with the features even that I have or the quality of the production? And there's nothing wrong being underground, but like to me, that's a spit in the face of all the work that I've done. You know, we've been Billboard twice, hip hop charts from my first album. I produced that entire,
certified.
Come on,
Yeah.
like I got a gold record. Like that don't happen from people that are just respectfully rapping in Union Square and with a backpack on. Like this is music that I want to be inspirational to other people so that they can know that you don't have to. The song we have a gold record for has no chorus. You know, I seen Bobby Shmurda do it. You know,
Right.
it's awesome. I love seeing that. I love seeing people win.
Ghostface says
Come on.
I love when people do that. Jay
Love that.
Electronica.
I love that. That's a hard thing to do. 500,000. I'll even tell you this. When Layla Hathaway came to my house, she seen my gold plaque and she said, "Is this yours?"
Such a beautiful song.
I said, "Yeah, it's mine." She's like, "Yeah." You know, I think she's 7 or 9-time Grammy nominated artist, and she said she's still looking for gold plaques for her dad and herself. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we still are tallying up these numbers to add up to 500,000. And she's like, "You have one? That's amazing, bro. Like, don't ever forget that. And don't, just because you see it every day here, don't forget how many people really were impacted by what you're doing." And I took that still to this day. It doesn't matter what, that's why I said, starting with the top row, the ones at the bottom, all the trophies that we have, we can't forget just because it was the first one you got. It might have the most dust in your house. It might be on the bottom shelf, but it's still a win.
Yeah. How did you and Layla Hathaway actually even
To be
connect?
honest with you, I think I was already a fan of her music. When you reach out and people respect it, it was nothing. She came to my house. We recorded in my living room.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I know
easy.
you were like, "Let me clean up, Layla Hathaway."
Yeah, nah, that's a fact. It was a little more spick and span when she came there. I'm not gonna lie.
Everything's clean.
Jeez. Yeah.
How is it recording and having people come to your space too? Because sometimes that is also like it's a sacred place to be in, and you can't have just anybody.
Yeah, nah, you just make sure you take your shoes off. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got clean socks
Take your
on.
Timbs off.
Take your Timbs off. We in Cali. Anybody know
I
Timbs
know
in Cali? But
you changed, man.
yeah, I got a couple, the right Timbs because there's the wrong ones too.
Okay.
But yeah, like I moved my studio to my living room so that when they walk in my house at the time that we can actually just feel like, oh wow, the studio's right here. It's not like hidden or tucked away in a corner. I think the album really warrants like a very homely, personal feeling. Even what Layla says in the song, like. She's like, yo, like at the end, she goes, "This song is fire," and she's on the song, but it just hit her in that moment.
She's like, "I love this.
This is really dope." I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep that in the song.
And
like,
that's a nice feeling to have when you've just recorded, to be like, "This song is fire."
Yeah, like I really like this, Eric. I'm like, yeah, I'm using that.
Isn't that great when you can meet somebody? Because I know we just earlier talked about meeting your heroes and they're not what you thought, but sometimes it is what you thought.
Yeah,
and
man.
even better. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Eric, thank you so much. Erick the Architect, thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks
you're
for
always
having
welcome.
me.
Congratulations. I know you're on tour right now, so I do appreciate you taking the time to come here and do this because you always have such great interviews. Like I follow everything that you do. You've performed at Angela Yee Day, which was a huge favorite to me.
Let's go.
And I love to see you represent always.
Always.
All right.
Brooklyn shit forever
I love that
too.
you're home. All right. It's way up. Erick the Architect. Make sure you picked it up right now. Man the Villain is out.